Hello everyone, my name is Katrina Short and today I'm going to show you how to bathe and deshed a Siberian Husky. And right on this table, I'm going to explain all the tools that I'm going to be using for this bathing process. Every dog I like to wash with a hypoallergenic shampoo. Today we have the deshedding shampoo and we have a deshedding conditioner. Each of these bottles are very concentrated. So that means we have to dilute each of these shampoos down with warm water. So this is 24-1, 16-1, 24-1. Then I will be cleaning ears. We have an ear cleaner with cotton balls. We will be brushing teeth. I have a toothpaste, breath spray, and a toothbrush. I have a clipper to shave the bottom of the paw pads. You need a comb, a Dremel for the nails. These are my deshedding tools, my deshedding rakes. I have a mat breaker just in case there's any matted undercoat, a long bristled brush. I have ear protection for my ears during the blow drying process. And for the Husky, I have an ear protection for him. So this is what we call a happy hoodie. You just place this over the dog's head and it covers the ears and it helps muffle the sound over the blow drying process. So these are all the tools that I will be using today. So this is Kane. He is a Siberian Husky. He is really impacted. You could just see the clumps of the dead undercoat that are trapped in the coat. He's also kind of yellow. And he is really stinky. He's a little nervous today, so he doesn't want to stand. But before I get the dog in the bath, I like to prep my dog. So what I will do is I will do the toenails, and I will clean out these hairy pads. And that's what I'm going to do right now. So we have a busy salon today, so hopefully you can hear me. If not, then I will definitely do a voiceover this grooming video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up each paw and hold it backwards because it's a natural position. It's a natural bend of the leg. And then I'm going to take my 40 blades and I'm just going to go in and I'm going to clean up all the hair that sticks past the foot pads. The paw pads, sorry. You don't have to dig too deep. You just want to clear the paw pads so that the dog doesn't slip and that they have traction. So this is what a clean paw pad looks like. So here I'm just going to quickly do the other three paws. So again, I'm just going to only clear away all the hair that is crowding the paw pads. And you can see he's not pulling or tugging because I'm holding his foot, again, in a natural position. So that's 3, and I'm going to grab the last one over here. And that's 4. I also like to do the nails before the bath, just because if a dog is scared of the nails being done, sometimes they might express their anal glands, and nothing is worse than having a clean, blow-dried dog, and then you go to do the nails last, and then they express their glands or they pee and poop. It's horrible. So I like to do all the hard stuff first. So I like to do all my prep before the bath so that there's no room for accidents or anal glands or pee or pooping after the dog is completely clean. So again, just like I did the paw pads, I hold the foot tucked under And that way I could see the nail and the nail's quick, which is the nerve inside the toenail. I can easily see it. I can fully see the nail, the nerve, and everything from this angle. And again, the dog is in a nice position. If I was to hold it this way, we would probably be playing tug of war. And no dog's gonna like that. They wanna be comfortable. So again, I like to hold the foot in. And I like to use a Dremel because it's less pressure. And I'm able to get the nail shorter, smoother, and rounder around that nerve that's in the toenail. If you don't know what that is, if you look at our fingernails, we have the pink and then there's the white. The white is what grows. Well, for dogs, both of it grows. The pink nerve and the nail itself grows long. So we want to keep those short. And we don't want to nick the nerve and make them bleed. So I'm actually going to bring this tight, but when I hold it this way, I'm able to squeeze the paw and expose the toe and separate the toe. So here we go. A quick little note, you want to keep the Dremel moving. You don't want to leave it in one place because then it will get hot and burn. So I go until I see this little tiny, I call it the teardrop. So you're gonna see a little teardrop. Here's a nice one. From underneath of the toenail, right before you get to that nerve. So if I go any further than this, hold on. If I go any further than this, then yes, he's going to have bloody toenails, and that's what we don't want. So as soon as I start to see this teardrop, that's when I know I cannot go any further. And then I just try and round out the edges so that there are no sharp edges of the toenail so that they don't scratch any owner or kids. So I showed you how to do one paw of toenails. So I'm gonna quickly do the other three. And I like using the Dremel because again, it's less pressure. And it seems pretty easy going on the dog. You can see he's not fighting me for nails. One more. Good boy. Good boy. So, now I'm going to clean the ears. So what I like to use is a cotton ball and a pet safe ear cleaner. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get the cotton ball and put the ear cleaner on. And the way I like to describe it is if this was the ear canal, I go as far as my fingertips go inside. So here's the ear, and I go in and I clean, swipe the ear canal as far as my fingertips go in with the cotton ball, and then I pull it out. And then if it's dirty, I do another one. I keep cleaning the ear until the cotton ball runs clean and not dirty. Okay, so here we go. Ready? And because he's a double-coated breed, he doesn't grow hair in his ear canals like a standard poodle or a Bichon or Maltese wood. So their ear canals stay pretty clean with no hair, and you don't have to pluck any ear hair out. And again, usually with double coated breeds, you won't have ear hair in the ear canal. Breeds that are not double coated, they're gonna have the ear hair in the canals, and you will have to use a special powder to remove that to keep the ear canal free of hair so that airflow can get in there and not cause any infections. So that is a pretty clean cotton ball. So his ears are pretty clean. You never use the same cotton ball in both ears. Each ear gets a fresh cotton ball. You don't want to cross-contaminate whatever's going on in this ear. You don't want to bring it to that ear. This isn't an invitational party. Everyone is kept separate. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do this side. And some dogs like it. Some dogs are weird. They like their ear clean. Sometimes they'll moan and they just, I don't know, it's weird. It's a weird feeling. Okay, so that's pretty clean, but I'm just gonna go ahead and double it just because I doubled the first ear. Yeah, good boy. All right, ears are done. Okay, and usually I do the teeth brushing in the tub, but because our bathing room is really busy and it's gonna be hard to hear, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it for you right here. So what you do is you get the toothbrush and you put the toothpaste on it. Come here, Kane. And what I like to do is I like to pull the cheek open and place your toothbrush in there, in the mouth. And then I hold the mouth shut. And then I start brushing away. And you can feel where the teeth are. And I like to brush, brush, brush. Brush, brush, brush. And then you're gonna bring it around to the other side. Okay, so I put a little bit more toothpaste on because I did, come here, Kane, because I did both sides. And now we're gonna do the front. Good boy, come here. He's pulling away. Come here, Kane. Come here. I know you're nervous. You're okay. You're being such a good boy. You got some pretty teeth, Mr. King. Okay, after that is done, you just get the breath spray. Has to be for pets. And I just put my finger and do one spray and teeth are done. Now because we're going in the bathing room, it's very busy and it's very loud. Hair is going to be flying everywhere because he has a lot of impacted undercoat. And we're gonna get that out with a really good Deshed bath and a really good blowout and a brush out, a good Deshed. Now you can use these, but I like to play music when I groom, so I have my own personal ones that play music. So what I am going to do is I'm going to record what I am doing as I'm doing it, but because of the sound, I will do a voiceover for the next parts of my video. Ready, Kane? Ready, dirty boy? Today we were full of a lot of de-shedding packages. So we do have mixing bottles, but I like to use a bucket. So I have all my shampoo in here, and I'm going to fill it up. Here I am using the spray nozzle to soak Kane with water. I like to do this before I start using my shampoo. because I think that it helps lift the dirt away from the skin and loosens up all that, you know, dirty, stinky dog. So this is what I like to do before I like to apply my soap. Moving on to the not so fun, anal glands. Groomers check the glands that are located behind the dog's anus to check if they're full. If we feel that they're full, we go ahead and give them a squeeze and express the anal glands. If the dog's anal glands aren't full, then sometimes we don't even need to do them. It's just only when necessary. In our salon, we use loofahs. I feel that it helps apply the shampoo onto the dog, and it also gives a good lather and also a good exfoliation. I feel that grooming and bathing my dogs with the loofah also gets them a lot cleaner than just using your hands. Because when you shower, don't you feel cleaner when you exfoliate? Well, I feel the same way for the dogs. I usually start around the neck, and then I work my way to the shoulders and then down the front legs, and then I'll go to the side of the belly, work my way to the back of the dog, and then I'll do the behind, and then I usually will turn them around and then completely exfoliate and scrub the other side of the dog. As I'm working my way from the front to the back, then I will be turning the dog around and scrubbing the rear end. You know, we just did the anal gland, so we got to make sure that that area smells really good. Sometimes if there's a little dingleberry or some little poop still stuck around the little behind, you can use the little, we call it the little booty comb, and that'll just take those right off. And then I go back to lathering and scrubbing, cane, and then this end I work from the back and then I move my way back up to the front. So here I am scrubbing the tail, working on the back end, and then I'm going to work my way back up to the front of the dog. Notice how I'm only focusing on the body and I have not done anything with the head just yet. I usually save the head for last before I rinse. Here, I am now letting the shampoo sit and I'm going to apply the de-shedding conditioner. I pour the conditioner into the bucket and then I'm going to fill it up with water because remember, we have to dilute it because the shampoo and the conditioner are very concentrated. Okay, now that my Deshed conditioner is completely diluted, I will start adding it onto cane here. I usually leave the shampoo on. I like to let it sit, and then I also like to add in afterwards the conditioning treatment. I like to work them together, but I like to apply them each separately. So I washed him first with the shampoo, and then now I'm going over him with the de-shedding conditioning treatment. So I'm going to go ahead and lather him up with all the conditioning treatment. And you also want to read any product that you use to, one, make sure that the dilution is okay, and second, how long you are allowed to leave the product on the dog. Usually for a Deshed, you want to leave the product on for 5 to 10 minutes. So here I'm just dumping the rest of the bucket. I'm also putting a little bit of the Deshed conditioner into my hand because I also like to go through the dog and feel the dog's actual coat and skin just to make sure that it feels clean. Oh, and here's also another tool that I forgot to mention. It was in the tub, so of course I'm going to use it. But this is like a little tub brush, and it's plastic. And I like to work the product in, so here I am brushing, wet brushing, while the shampoo and the conditioner are still setting on Mr. Kane here. And I will just go around and keep brushing it in while he is sitting in the product. And of course, you turn him around and then you do the other side. So again, I have not rinsed yet, and I have not put any shampoo products on his head. I'm still working and lathering and letting his body sit with the Deshed shampoo and conditioning treatment. And I'm just working his coat. This also helps get all that undercoat out. Here he decided to lay down, and I was like, okay, you go ahead. I'm just gonna work around you. But you could see all that undercoat that is coming out. Now we're gonna go ahead and lightly rinse the top of the head. I'm not gonna go into his head with the water. I'm going from the top of the head down. And here in this bottle, we have a very light, mild face soap. And I'm just going to lather it, and I'm going to rub it into his head. He's going to get a nice little facial. A lot of dogs love this process. Watch, you're going to see him just totally melt in my hand while I give his face a good massage. Is he smiling right there? I think he's smiling. Oh, that feels so good. He loves it. My rule of thumb is wash the body first, wash the head last, rinse the head first, rinse the body last. That way you can leave the product on the body as long as it needs to be, and the product on the head is very minimal so that there's no eye irritation. Now I rinse the head first, and then I work my way down the back, because product and water goes from the highest point and then trickles down. Just think of a mountain, and at the top, all the water running down the mountain. So that's what I do with the body. I rinse from the top of the dog's body, and then I work my way down to the feet. So here I am rinsing down the back, and then I start to move down the legs, move down the belly, and I just start helping push the shampoo product down. Of course, you got to do the other side. So another rule of thumb that I have is when you think you're done rinsing, rinse again, completely all over. The number one reason why dogs have issues or itchiness or any skin irritations is if the product is left on and not rinsed all the way out. So when I think I'm done, I do it all over again. And then another way to test that there's no product is if you run your hand under the belly side of the dog, and if you feel any soapiness or you pull your hand out and there's soap, then there's still product on the dog, and you need to keep rinsing until there is no product residue left in your hand or on the dog. Did you know that a dog can shake off 70% of the water in the first shake? With a couple hand towels, I towel off the rest of the water that is on the dog so that he's not dripping when I bring him out of the tub. From the tub onto the drying table we go. And here's that happy hoodie I talked about. Now I'm going to brush the dog's coat. I personally like to brush them out before I start blow drying, just so that you can loosen up all that hair. So here I am wet brushing him yet again, once in the tub and now on the drying table. And you can see already how much undercoat is coming out in my brush. And then, of course, you move on to the other side. So here I am working the other side of the dog. Just brushing through the coat. And yes, a lot of undercoat is coming out, which is nice because It's still gonna come out when I start to blow dry. You're gonna see it snow. Now for the double coated breathe, I like to use the cone shaped dryer nozzle. With the blow dryer, you can actually see all the way to the skin. So I am realizing that his undercoat is a lot more impacted than I originally thought. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my large slicker brush, and using that in one hand with the dryer in the other, I'm going to blow and brush at the same time. This is going to help loosen up that impacted, stuck undercoat. And then I'm going to bring out the big guns. So I'm actually going to use 2 blow dryers, one in each hand. And this too is also going to bring enough power and force to help lift away the impacted undercoat away from the skin. And as you're going to start to see, it's going to start snowing husky hair. It's like all his hair is coming off of him and going into mine. Look at that. I got a fuzz going on at the top of my bun. But here's a different view of what we groomers see when we are blow drying your pets. And you can see that at the very bottom of the hair, right above the skin, that's where all the undercoat clumping is. With a major de-shedding treatment like Kane is undergoing, you're going to want to wear safety goggles because hair just gets everywhere. It gets stuck in your eyelashes. You just seen me pulling hair out of my mouth. Look at my t-shirt. It's just full of hair. It's literally raining husky. Sometimes I even feel like the hair is wrapped around my eyeballs. So it's always good to wear protective eye goggles and also protection of your ears from the velocity dryer sounds. And so here I am just continuing to use the double drying hoses to really lift and blow out that impacted undercoat that is stuck at the skin level. Well, more like 25-35 minutes. Now our blow drying session comes to an end. So here I was brushing and blow drying again at the same time. I'm just going to quickly do a quick brush through before I take them off of the drying table and back onto the grooming table. Okay, we are back on the grooming table, and you can actually see in the video that right here and a little in the rear, I could grab a handful of impacted matted undercoat. So here, this stuff is in there really tight that even the double blow dryers couldn't loosen that up. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use my mat breaker. This is very sharp, so you want to hold it in your hand and place your thumb on the little thumb area. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully just comb this through, working at those mats. But you got to be very careful because this can cut your dog. So you have to be very easy. Okay, this side was already de-shed, and dematted. When you brush a dog, the longer the hair, the thicker the hair, the longer your slicker brush you want. So this slicker brush will be ideal for this kind of coat. This slicker brush is not. This won't even touch to the skin of the dog. This is just gonna surface brush. This will get all the way down to the skin. So how you can tell if you're brushing correctly is if you can brush your entire dog, then after you check your brushing skills with the comb. So if you can perfectly run the comb through the coat, like I'm doing here, your dog is perfectly brushed out. So I just spent a very long time doing that one specific side of the body, and you wouldn't believe that all this hair, all this undercoat, all this deshed was just from that one side of the dog. And now I'm going to be working on the second side. You can see where all that undercoat is still stuck, so I'm going to be working very hard on this side of the dog. And in the next clip, I'm going to have a time-lapse video to save me time, but you are going to see me working all this through in a very speedy video. But yes, I'm going to be working all this undercoat out. Here I am in hyperspeed during this time-lapse video. Look at this hair pile just getting bigger and bigger. So I'm using 3 tools here. I'm using my long slicker brush, I'm using my metal comb, and I'm using the dematter rake. Definitely the trio you need for this job. This Siberian Husky's de-shedding treatment was a lot of work. It was so much hair. But look how beautiful and stunning he looks. I couldn't be more happy and pleased the way this all came out.